Welcome to another Adventures with Paul. Today you're in for a treat. I'm going on a ride to do the entire Ohio to Erie Trail from Cleveland to Cincinnati. And with that, I'm on my way. I parked at the Little Miami Golf Center, which is a park in the county. And for $16 for a non-resident for the parking permit, I can leave it there all week. That's a pretty good deal. Trail's pretty well marked coming into Cincinnati. I'm along this boulevard here. Not a whole lot of traffic on a Friday. This art structure is pretty cool with the reflection with the stainless steel. And other than the olfactory evidence that people have used this as a urinal, it's kind of cool. I'm in Cincinnati. Coming out of Cincinnati on day 2 or 0.5, I guess. Really haven't started the whole trip, but they got a nice bike lane infrastructure here, so I'm enjoying that. Back in the late 70s, early 80s, I heard the song Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald by Gordon Lightfoot, and I always thought, lake freighters, wow, that's pretty cool, what a mystery. And here I'm about to go on one, so I'm excited. Yeah, this thing's pretty massive. This is the location where they found the wreckage of the Edmund Fitzgerald, which was immortalized in the Gordon Lightfoot song. And the words are, they would have made Whitefish Bay if they put 15 more miles behind her. Pretty interesting. Interesting, this is about the size of my whole boat.
I guess it's a
You know what that is? It's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I only had so much time in Cleveland, so I said I'd rather tour the steamship than go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so maybe next time.
The Mather also had a lot of guests too, so sometimes he was kind of like serving them, like being a host, because this is like one of the few steamships that actually had guests and stuff like that.
I think during the tour they covered on this one. You can very.
Walking along the deck, and you can see behind me these covers that cover the cargo holds. And on each one of these things, there's probably about 30 or 40 of these claw-like items. And they are secured with these screws, and the deckhands would secure these things. One of the theories about the Edmund Fitzgerald, there's a rogue wave, but one of them is that these were not secured tightly enough and it allowed water to get in, which pushed down extra weight into that cargo container. So just a big, big tragedy. That ends the tour. I love stuff like this. Historic ships, technology, aircraft carriers, battleships, all the stuff that was from that era. Just massively cool stuff. And it's still surviving, which just shows the longevity of these things and how they were built. I'm thinking that that propeller shouldn't normally be out of the water like that. Well, that was a lot of fun. I love these huge old ships that you're able to go into and tour. The amount of work that went into just building these, and then even to keep them maintained. It's amazing. Well worth the admission. Well, if you've been wondering when this bike tour is actually going to start, that makes two of us. And it's today. I'm taking off from Cleveland on my way to Akron. About a 40-mile ride. Expecting rain in the forecast, but I got my rain gear, so I'll deal with it. Well, I guess West Market's a bust since they're doing reconstruction.
Hard, then turn left.
They've done a good job of integrating the trail with the urban area. This trail is on the bluff and it's taking me right out of downtown area. This train was moving through here and now it's just stopped. And now it's going back the other way. Well, that's pretty cool. Go through a tiny little area, an apartment building and a restaurant, and then right around the boardwalk onto underneath an overpass. A lot of fun. Well, the trail has changed to a packed limestone gravel. Really good condition, really nice and smooth. I'm just rolling along here. I figure I'm about 13, 14 miles out of Cleveland right now in the Cuyahoga Valley. It's a really, really scenic area. You know, the Romans were known for the aqueducts and the roads that they built and the Colosseum. We're going to be known for our freeway overpasses. Well, Welcome to Adventures with Paul, day 2 on the Ohio to Erie Trail. Just left my hotel in the background on the corner. Rolling out of Akron. A little bit misty this morning, but there's no real rain in the forecast. It is before 7 o'clock too, so I'm definitely ready to get going. Downtown Akron has got this trail adjacent to the sidewalk, which really makes for riding through the city pleasant. See, there's a lot of restaurants in downtown Akron, and they all share one thing in common: they're closed Sundays. The section through downtown Akron is nice. It's got this little byway right next to this canal, which is the old waterway, weaving its way through old industrial buildings. It's very misty this morning, so I'm sure it would be even more scenic if there was not a lot of mist there. But avoiding the geese, they are very territorial creatures on our territory. I decided to get out of Akron early since I had a 70-mile day, and then go get breakfast in Barberton, which was about 10 miles down the trail. I'm glad I did. I got 10 miles down while the sun was still busy coming up. Still coming up. This is a nice section. The trail goes right behind the main street of Canal Fulton. Just pretty. Look at that. It's a shadow. The sun is out. Once you get into Massillon, the trail heads west. And now you're on the Sippo Valley Trail, passing farms. We're getting more into farmland and away from the canal, and it's really opened up. Lots of fields and farms, and the sun's out, so woohoo! You hear that? You hear the birds? Ah, this is just lovely. This is the section of the Ohio Trail that's about 15, 16 miles on road, but look at the road. They've done a really good job of routing this on very low traffic farm roads. I'm currently on the Holmes County Trail, and if you thought, my, that is a wide trail, you're right. In Holmes County, there are a lot of Amish who ride buggies with horses, so this is a shared trail for the bikes and the buggies. So if I come across a buggy, we'll have to pass it or it'll pass me. I'm here at Broken Grounds Coffee Shop in Millersburg. Let's check this out. Just on the Holmes County Trail after getting some breakfast at the Broken Grounds Coffee Shop. I had a BG breakfast sandwich, which was eggs, bacon, of course, and It was served on Texas toast, which was laced with maple syrup. Not a whole lot, but just enough to make it like really, really good. Interesting creation, but great people. The owner was super friendly, super nice, just chatty, like me. I'm kind of digging this section of the Holmes County Trail as it passes through the trees. I'm thinking it's almost like a very quiet country road. It's a unique experience. It seems like a wide road rather than just a trail. Always something new. You can hear the birds. There's nary a soul around. Can't beat this. How often do you get to climb inside an old steam locomotive? I have no idea how this thing runs other than on steam. Tell ya, I love going over these old railroad bridges. It's just so neat, reusing history. I just finished checking into the hotel and now I'm walking around Mt Vernon. I came out to the Ariel Foundation Park, but what I really want to do is climb the tower. So that's about 225 steps all the way up to the top and gives a great view of the surrounding area. But I don't see anybody on it, so I'm wondering if it's even open. Climb a tower, I said. At the end of the ride, I said, good idea, I say now. Good morning and welcome to day 4 of the Ohio to Erie adventure. I'm crossing over, I think this is the Cocosing Creek or the Cocosing Creek. It's a bit chilly this morning. I've got the fleece on. I might put a windbreaker on top of it. We'll have to see.
Keep left.
Remember that? I do. I was dragging yesterday trying to get to the top of that, but glad I did it. Oh, what a difference a windbreaker makes. I had the fleece on, which provides warmth, but the air was going right through it. Didn't expect I'd see the Washington Monument on my tour. Oh, this is the high point of the Ohio to Erie Trail, 1,285 feet. It's all downhill to Cincinnati from here. Here's another great example of a trail integrated with the urban environment. This is the Alum Creek Trail, and it's winding through this outer suburbs going into the center of Columbus and is passing by a whole bunch of stuff following the creek. But it's not like I'm riding on the roads. It's not like I'm listening to traffic. Occasionally I'll go under or over an overpass, and that's about it. They've done a really good job planning this. When you're on a rails to trails ride, the trails normally follow rail paths linking cities, as the railroads used to link the cities, and now the rail trail does. And that leads you into areas from the exurbs to the suburbs, into the downtown area. And what they've done is they've made the trails to follow some nice places that are more scenic, like this, than just routing you right on the roads into the middle of downtown. You know, one of the things I love about bike touring is the serenity and peacefulness of, you know, riding through a lovely rural area. You know, maybe the sounds of a babbling brook or something, but really it's just to be alone and quiet with one's thoughts. Made it to North Market. This is another market like the Findlay Market that was in Cincinnati that I visited, but this one is air conditioned and it's got more neon, which I like. I'm here with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and you know what he told me? Get to the chopper! Well, that's a wrap for Columbus. I'm on the bike lane heading down to the river, Scioto River Trail. But in the meantime, this is it for me. That's a wrap. Columbus is in my wake. I guess as the trail runs through these urban-esque areas, you're gonna see some homeless encampments and some tents set up and that kind of stuff. It's kind of a shame that we can't solve this. What about all these dead 1980s malls, turning them into apartments, or turning them into places where people can have shelter? Once you get out of the Columbus area, the view for most of the morning is pretty much this. Straight trail, following a railway, all the way into London. So first 30 miles or so is just a straight shot. You don't have to use your handlebars too much turning. So here's how rural the trail is. You come up to these intersections and it's just nothing except agricultural fields. We're really in the rural areas now. A little bit after 11 o'clock, I took a break here and it's just peaceful. I mean, look behind me, there's nothing back there, nothing back there. I'm out here all by myself, just listening to the wind. Now this isn't part of the bike trail, but I couldn't pass this up. Sun's coming up. I got a nice lake to my left. Official sunrise happened about 20 minutes ago. So you can see it behind me, just starting to come up. A little bit cloudy. It's warm today. I got the t-shirt on. I ditched my fleece. But I did about a bunch of, there's a kitty. Smells like the Adirondacks here. Smells you don't get when you're flying from city to city. Well, that's the first time I've ever seen a flashing stop sign. I'm guessing they don't want cyclists blowing through this. Interesting. Slowing up. And there's 50 miles for the day at 10:20 with just a few stops. 10:20, 50 miles done. I'm feeling it. My legs are a little bit tired, but I think it's only like 6 or 7 miles to the car. And then it's it. That's the end of my Ohio to Erie Trail adventure. And we're back.